Hello everybody, and I hope you're having a fantastic day, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the treasure spawn that just came out for Wildebeest Hunter Alana. I hope I said that right, but okay, so let's get to the monster that we're going to talk about the treasure spawn. Okay, so with this monster, I'm not even going to go after its abilities, I'm not going to go through them one by one. This is the first monster ever in Unison League when it comes to the 40 cost, or correlating to the 40 cost, that is not, like, you don't need it whatsoever. I mean, you didn't need the monster in the first place, perhaps say if you're doing Carnage, but if you're doing Purgatory, sometimes it's needed, and if you're doing Extreme, it is dang well needed. This is the first monster ever when it comes to the 40 costs that isn't needed for any of that stuff, and that right there is pretty cool, considering that you don't have to pay to win to get a free-to-play monster that technically people can technically get. You'll just have a better chance if you wail for it, and that's just not cool. And this isn't needed for rank guild raids either. So anyways, let's talk about what it has and what it could be beneficial for. It's not just a straight up useless monster, it's just when it comes to this monster, right? The moves it has, the exclusiveness it has, like the combo it has, the exclusiveness doesn't exist, and the combo that it has can be done with other monsters, and heck, even better one, because here's the thing with time, it's weak against dark and light, so you have an option between dark and light monsters to use in the time elements. And when it comes to ranked guild raids, it's not needed. We'll give you one elemental boost, maybe two, depending on if you use like perhaps say the Warlords, or like the 7 Deadly Sins, whatever you use, it might give more element, but that's literally it. So like the heal 10% max HP for every 5 seconds for 120 seconds, that is a really long continuous heal. There are other monsters that could do continuous heal too, so that's not the only monster that could do it, though it is long, so I will give it that, prompts on that, but that's as far as I go for that part. Look what right here with Grummery, she heals, she casts Beast, so she gives a 50% or 60% attack and magic attack increase. Not just heal, she increases the cast recovery speed of all allies for 40 seconds. She casts 10% life drain, so it's not just continuous heal. It's when you attack, you're getting 10% of that damage healed for your health, and she applies a healing. Of course, it's going to be for 40 seconds, so it's not even going to be half the time, but that's still a pretty decent amount of time. And if you get her to a 4th awakening, she casts 20 costs right there. That is a lot more beneficial overall buffs than just Will-O-Wisp Hunter Alana gives. It will be a lot less of time that it will be activated, but for sure, the combo that Grummery has at 32 cost is significantly better than the one that this one has right here. Okay, so the next thing is reduced physical and magical damage taken. You might be wondering about that, how it's going to be helpful. For the Time Dragon, I would say it's only going to be helpful during Amogus, and even with that, you can use monsters like Titania starting off. I'm not even going to name all of them, I don't remember all of them, but I'm just going to remember the ones I name off the back of my head or hand. Titania reduces attack and magic attack taken by 40% for 60 seconds. So right there, you are getting a 40% damage reduction with Titania. It's not just going to be for like 3 attacks. It's a 40% reduction for Titania for like the full 60 seconds, not just for full 3 hits. So right there, very, very amazing. And with this though, this could be useful against like perhaps say Amogus during the second round, considering that she only does percentages, or during rank guild raids when you're fighting Athena, right? Skolas Athena. Athena can do moves that can one-shot you. They're devastating, deadly, and completely nasty. If you use a monster like that has that, then that's very, very good. But here's also the another thing surrounding it. Madia does that, and Madia does better. Madia does this, and on top of it, Madia gives a damage reduction. She may cast Resurrection to yourself, unlike Blessing. So right there, that's one beneficial factor. But Madia, if you awaken her enough, she also gives 2 elemental. So Madia is actually a better choice than this monster when it comes to that. Dual attack is going to be more useful in rank guild raids than it is going to be in the 40 cost. Not needed whatsoever in the 40 cost. Rank guild raids though, it could definitely help cheat your way to getting more score, considering you could just do the same attack twice in a row. Boost HP recovery effects by 50% for 90 seconds is going to be very nice when you're casting hero. Not needed whatsoever though. I got Yashimaru, so I'm not even worried about it. So when I cast hero, right, Titania may be a bit risky. Not exactly going to be like risky whatsoever. But with Yashimaru heals and casts continuous healing. So even when I got Hero with the heal reduction, the 70% heal reduction, it's going to come in handy for that. Increase usage gains by 3. Decrease usage gains by 3. 3 might be like for light and dark monsters. There may not be a lot of 3s, but I can name right off the bat. My Cecila does that. My Cecila actually heals, removes damage reflection, continues healing, damage reduction effects from all enemies. If you remember, I forgot her name, Skyrus, the Skyward Hero, or something like that. The one you fight right before the 40 cost dragon and the quest. He throws up a barrier. Cecila helps, removes that. Removes buffs. Increases usage gains of all allies by 2. The usage gains for sure is going to come in a lots of handy. You're not able to actually boost Unison, raw Unison. So if you have a monster that just gives 20 Unison gauge, or perhaps you're trying to use cheer, doesn't work in this quest whatsoever. So usage gains is going to be the Lord and Savior of the quest. But she also casts Resurrection, something that Alana doesn't do. This monster casts Resurrection and then casts Blessing, just like her. So that's one right there that can do that already. If I looked right, if you actually increase his, never mind. I guess it's only gonna work for him, but that's one right there. I name right off the bat that is light or dark that helps with usage gains. I'm pretty sure there's a few other monsters that help with usage gains out there, and it's just Blessing from there. So, like said, this monster not needed whatsoever. Other monsters out there that could do quite the same thing and may even have a better combo. Like, I prefer this. I don't prefer this. I prefer Cecila over this monster. Cecila is going to come in a lot more handy. Cecila is going to be a lot more clutch. The only thing that Cecila may suck compared to this monster at is, of course, the continuous healing. But, like, I got Yashimaru and stuff for that. And the Unison gauge gains is going to be by 1 less, but that's only 1 less, so that's not too much of a big deal, considering that she does that, she casts Resurrection, she does all this extra stuff that this monster does. This monster may cast continuous healing, but this monster doesn't heal, so if I ever need a clutch heal, this monster's not going to get the job done, so that right there is pretty much the rundown of the monster and everything surrounding it. I personally, you don't even really need this monster unless you just want like a light 37 cost monster. You like its looks, you just want it, it's cool, whatever the case scenario and situation is. This is mainly going to be a defensive player versus enemy monster. It's not going to be really useful for Colosseums or guild battles, besides the fact that it's 37 cost and it's going to be a light elemental. So considering that time elemental dragons are out, that could be in handy. But that's it for that. Let's actually get the spawn and everything surrounding it. Okay, so treasure spawns are treasure spawns. What they usually want you to do is they usually want you to spawn a lot. The more you spawn, the more medals you're getting. They usually want you to spawn a lot. First time half off is going to be 15 gems. After that's going to be 30 gems. To get medals to actually get what you're looking for. So they want you to spawn a lot, because in the spawn, if you check right here, Alana doesn't really have any rates to actually get her. Near dang impossible to get her from the spawn. They have low rates for the jackpot, but at least in like the spawn 10, it's actually more possible to get her. So keep that in mind. Probably not going to happen. It will occasionally happen where you get a summoning scroll, but usually when you're actually doing treasure spawns, around 75% or more of the time, if you have normal luck, that is, summoning scrolls will not pop out. 900 to 3,100 is the golden amounts that it will take. Not take, but usually you have a little bit more boosted rates than a regular treasure spawn to actually get the summoning scroll, whatever exclusive jackpot items they might have besides medals. So right there, that's very, very cool. They also have XP quest keys in here. Featured gear, I'll talk about that in a second. Only one side chest has treasure medals, sadly. 600 to 800. Drop of the Awakening Orb, always love those. And then proficiency quest keys. So, or augment quest keys. I didn't see that. Super augment, that is, not just augment. So right there, that's that. And for the featured gear, you either got light banner stuff, or you got light banner and bulwark stuff, or dark banner and bulwark stuff. So this stuff right here is going to be very, very helpful. The issue with this against the Time Dragon, perhaps say, is the fact that the skill activation rate is boosted against light enemies for the dark one, and for the light one, it's boosted against dark enemies. So I'm not sure if the skills rate is boosted when you actually fight against time, but I do know for a fact it's going to be boosted against those. And if you do use it, if it does proc against, like, when you're in the time dragon quest, it's going to be doing a lot of damage, because the skill scales with your actual elemental light attack for the weapons, and then the armors skill, like how much damage gets reduced, or ability power gets reduced from the damage, scales with your elemental defense. So those are pretty OP and definitely recommended when you're doing elemental quests, the banner stuff. And on top of it, they have abilities that help do damage and increase your dark, light, or whatever elemental attack you got by 2 for a certain amount of seconds. So right there, very helpful, very cool stuff. Sadly, it's only going to be in the feature gear chest. Keep in mind with the feature gear chest, when you're actually doing this, if you get it from the feature gear, it could be anything of like in here whatsoever. So just because you're an archer doesn't mean you're going to get the bow. You could absolutely get like the relic, or you could get armor pieces that you don't even want, need, or care for. So keep that in mind when you're doing that. And they're not going to be in the metal exchange either. They have other stuff in the metal exchange as well. Personally, I wouldn't go for these unless you need it for the elemental or the skills they might have, considering like the armors right here have reflection reduction. These won't do as well if you're looking for reflection reduction for 100 less metals. And then these got Fatal Testament right here if you're interested in those. Fatal Testament double XLs and XLs nearly have the same proc rate. If you didn't check my video already, you can go check that. Hopefully I'll link it down below. Hopefully I'll remember. I'll try to remember. And yeah, that's pretty much that. The highest cost that you could get in the metal exchange is 35 cost weapons and 36 cost armors, and that's not even the highest cost. So I wouldn't worry about it all too much, especially considering probably after RGB ends, there's going to be 28 cost stuff coming out. And if it isn't, it's going to come out with a few events. After that, 28 cost stuff is going to come out, and 38 cost stuff is going to come out, and 37 cost weapons are going to come out as well. And if I showed you how much of a gap just 3 costs can be, it's humongous, and it just keeps going up. With the higher the cost, the more of a gap there's going to be. So that's all I gotta say for this video. You can absolutely avoid this treasure spawn. That's one thing I like about it. I don't have to worry about wasting gems on a treasure spawn, because I absolutely don't need this at all. Treasure spawn's not needed under any circumstance or situation whatsoever. It's just pretty much so you could stack up for like the time dragon, and even then like the monster's not needed. So I don't need to do this whatsoever. Thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching, and I hope this helped out. This is the AzureWrath, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.